I'm Capella. Now, if you're a kid watching this video, I'm going to take an educated guess that you're only watching it because a parent or teacher told you to. And I'm also assuming that you're just expecting some long, boring drone that just feels like it takes time out of your day. Well, trust me, I understand the feeling, and I'm not going to do that to you. In fact, you know what? Get your imagination ready, because we're going to go on an adventure. Okay, close your eyes. You live in a small town. It's a very peaceful place. You're at home, busy studying for that geometry test you have tomorrow. You've just gotten to reviewing the equation for the area of a circle, which is pi r squared, when you hear your sister coming up the stairs. "There's a monster outside!" she shrieks. "Wait, what? A monster? Quick, open your eyes. This better not be a Oh. Oh no. That's definitely no joke. And it's breathing fire on that experimental garden you had planted. There goes your extra credit in science class. Well, you're a very rational person who's read lots of books about this situation. As the protagonist, you're going to have to face that monster, but he looks pretty scary, so you bravely go to the local fortune teller. Now, she knows a lot about this sort of thing, and she tells you that the monster must have a weakness, and she'll be able to sense what it is using her crystal ball. Unfortunately, the monster seemed to know this too, and her crystal ball was stolen by the monster's minions earlier and locked up in a magical shed atop a hill. The fortune teller gives you this small green cylindrical object. She tells you it's the key to unlock the magical shed. One of the monsters who stole her crystal ball dropped it. You're not sure how it's a key, but you agree to get her crystal ball back for her. You climb the hill and enter the shed to see a huge door, which doesn't open when you try it. But there's this table with 3 circular slots in it. Oh, those must be the keyholes for the cylinder. But which one do you use? They all look like the same size. You look a little closer. Hey, aren't those numbers written by the holes? And each of them has grams per cubic centimeter written at the end. Hey, that's the unit for density. So the correct keyhole must have the actual cylinder's density written by it. Problem is, you don't know the cylinder's density, but you can definitely find out. Let's see. The equation for the density of a cylinder is mass divided by volume, right? So you've got to figure out the mass and volume first. Like any prepared adventurer, you've brought along your trusty triple beam balance. It was mainly for whacking monsters because you don't have a sword, but you don't have any objection to using it for its intended function and therefore not breaking it. Turns out, the cylinder is 40 grams. That's pretty heavy for such a small object, but now you have the mass. Then you get out your ruler. Time to find the volume. You also get to use the ruler for its intended purpose instead of a backup in case the triple beam balance didn't work. The equation for cylinder volume is volume equals pi r squared times height. So let's find each of those to plug into the equation. You measure the height of the cylinder, the straight length from the corner of one circular face to the other. The height is 5 centimeters. The radius is the length from the midpoint of the circle to the edge of the circle. It's half of the diameter, which is the length from edge to edge of the circle that passes through the center of the circle. The diameter is 3 centimeters. Half of that will be the radius. So the radius is 1.5 centimeters. Finally, pi is that number with a very long decimal that's so long and complicated that we haven't even figured out the entire thing yet, so let's just use the rounded and standard version, 3.14. Okay, so the volume equation was volume equals pi times radius squared times height. Let's plug in the values we know. We measured the mass earlier, so now we have both values in this equation. These parentheses all have single values inside of them, and they're only to show multiplication, except for radius squared, so let's square 1.5. 1.5 times 1.5 equals 2.25. Let's multiply that by pi. 2.25 times 3.14 equals 7.065. Finally, we multiply that by the height. 7.065 times 5 equals 35.325, and there's our volume. 35.325 centimeters cubed. Okay, so what was that density equation again? Mass over volume. Density equals mass over volume. Density equals 40 divided by 35.325. The density is 1.13234253362 grams per cubic centimeter. But that's a very long decimal, and all the numbers by the keyholes had only 2 each. You round it to the nearest hundredths place to match that. Okay, 1.13. Much better. Sure enough, one of the keyholes has that exact number written by it. You put the cylinder into that slot and it falls right in. You push the door and it comes open. Inside, on a pedestal, is the stolen crystal ball. You can now return it to the fortune teller to learn the monster's weakness. Great job! I hate to cut you short, but I'm terrible at endings. So I'll leave this up to you. If you're feeling up to it, create an ending, and blend a word problem into it to finish the story. After all, you're the hero, so it's your choice how to proceed from here. See ya!